Welcome to Magic Tarot. I have another pick a card for you all. The question is, how do they see you? We have five piles here, pile one, two, three, four, and five. You can think of a particular person. You can think of their name or probably even just imagine their face and then choose a particular pile, and does not necessarily have to be pertaining to your love interest. This can also relate to a particular person that you would want to know, like what do they really see you as. But then I think this whole pile, I think somewhere relates to love. So if you go ahead and have someone in your mind, think of them and then choose the pile. You might be drawn to the number, you might be drawn to the card. Um, the timestamps will be down below. So whatever draws your attention, choose that particular pile. Let's proceed with the reading. The ones who have chosen pile number one, you have Death, the Magician, Five of Swords, Three of Swords, the Four of Wands, and Higher Power. Okay, how does this particular person see you as? With the Death card, with the Death card and the Magician card, I have a very strong feeling that this particular person sees you as someone very powerful. Okay, just your presence for that matter is very inspiring. With the Magician, this is someone who, with the way they conduct themselves, the way they're very good with communication. They basically have all the elements, all the resources for that matter. Because you see, you have the cup over here, you have the cup, you have the pentacle, the wand, and the sword. So the sword talks about communication. So this particular person is really great with their communication. And then you have the infinity symbol here. So this particular person has great knowledge as well. And they are someone, he is the magician is considered a manifester. So they have these great ideas and they have the potential to bring them about into reality. Okay, so this particular person is someone who that is how they see you. Like, okay, you have this idea and thought in your head, and you have the full potential, the capability to bring that idea into existence. They see you as someone very powerful. So imagine if you've really thought about, starting something new, and you're going to be very successful in doing that. You're going to bring that about and you're going to become so successful in that, and that is what they truly believe. Uh, and with the death card, there's definitely, this is like, it talks about change. Okay. And what I feel like, um, the moment anybody comes in contact with you, you change people's life in a way that they can never go back to who they previously were. Okay, so this can be a good thing, this can be a bad thing, because it depends on person to person. And what I truly feel is no one in this world is we all are like heroes and villains in someone's story. So with the death card, what I feel like, you might be a hero or you might probably be a villain in someone's life. Why I say a villain? Because the death card is, you have, if you see in this particular card, there are like four people, and one is there, the child is there, there's another young kid, he's turning his face away, and there's this grown person. I think he is like a pope or someone like that, and I mean like there's different reactions on their faces. There's, I mean like, the way they're receiving this. So what I feel like, when people you meet come across when people come across you, I mean like, everybody has a different way that they perceive you. The way that they see you is very different, so it can be very positive as well, it can be negative as well. And why I say that is because with the three of sword, I feel like you have broken quite a few people's heart. I mean like, because you have that kind of personality where, people get so easily attracted to you, and you're just someone who is so inspiring, and in the way that you conduct yourself, in the way that you talk, you're very charismatic, and you have all these ideas, the way that you talk. I mean, like, it's very inspiring for that matter. And because it's so inspiring and it's so like out of the world, like nobody knows what to expect out of you. You're that kind of person that people really cannot figure out, but it's like you keep people on edge, and people just do not know what to expect with you. And because you are someone that, a very unique, mm, like, how do I tell you? the, and this is like, I just feel like you are someone who is, I mean, like, you play different roles in different people. I mean, like, you play different roles in various people's life. I mean, like, but then I feel like you leave a very strong presence in their life, and that is how they see you. They actually, I think they're very conflicted with the way that they see you, um because I mean like, you have the heartbreak, but I really feel like people fall for you very easily, and then they might some people might also consider you to be a heartbreaker. And I think you might have probably broken a lot of hearts, and that might not be to your knowledge. This has happened unknowingly. And what I feel like, but they also see with the Five of Swords, they also see like you're someone who loves to win, okay, who always wants to win. And sometimes you want to win at the cost of, like, you don't really see, and there's this strong desire to win. But then, what I feel like when people see you, um, it's like, I think the first impression that they have of you, or is like, okay, I want to like be with this person for the rest of my life. You bring that sort of vibe. I mean, like, the first time that they meet you, it's like people get smitten by you very easily, and the kind of attraction that you garner from people, it is, I'm like, so damn, like, okay, he's the ultimate, he's the one for me, or she is the one for me. It is something of that sort with the magician, okay? Because you have the Four of Wands as well. This is a little weird. I mean, like, you have broken some hearts, but then it's like, okay, okay, there's another energy also that I'm getting. Like, I think people feel like I can tame this particular person, okay? Like, you are so free spirited, and they feel like they can tame you. And with the Four of Wands, they always, I mean, like, it's very futuristic. Like, I think you give off the vibe like people want to settle down with you, have a future with you, get committed to you. And that is what you give to people. I mean, like, that is the feeling that they have about you. And with the higher power, um, what I feel like, people have this very strong spiritual connection to you, and I think you teach them a lot, by just being yourself. I think you teach them so much, for that matter, with a higher power. And I feel like People, the moment they meet you, they feel like they have some form of spiritual connection to you. And I think that's the reason they feel so drawn to you, and they probably feel like this is the one for me. And I think that's the reason you end up breaking a lot of hearts without your knowledge. So that is what I'm getting for you all. I do not know if this will resonate, but then, yeah, I hope I did justice to this reading. Thank you. Okay, the ones who've chosen pile number two, you have, sorry, you have the Emperor, the Eight of Pentacles, Judgment, Two of Cups, Six of Wands, you have Thinker, Time for a Nap, and the Tribe. Okay, how do they see you? With the Emperor, Judgment. Okay, so people right away are like, they see that you are someone who's very wise. Okay, and the other thing could be with the Judgment card and the Emperor card. I feel like you are someone, who can overcome any battle of life. You've already been sorry, you've already been through a lot. But then, with the Emperor and Judgment, it's like, you have been successful in leaving your past behind. I mean, like, that itself is very inspiring for people out there, because you give off this vibe like you can overcome your past, you can go through something really very difficult but come out so successful. And what I feel like with the Judgment card, I think people look up to you. People look up to you, like, I mean, like, this particular person is like he had a rebirth, he or she had a rebirth, and they have just left their past behind. They have grown as an individual who is who is I mean, like, I think you inspire people. Eh, that is what I think with the Emperor card and with the Judgment card. You inspire people. You might you might probably give off this vibe that you're someone very hard. I mean, like the exterior that you portray. But then I think you are, as a person, very kind hearted. You're someone who, I mean, like, you cannot withstand injustice. You are someone who loves to take care of people, for that matter. And like I told you, someone, I feel like you're quite popular with the Six of Wands. And what I feel like, somewhere, you overcoming this particular battle of yours and overcoming your past, it somewhere, people, they have a form of connection to you. Like, this is that one string that connects them to you. Like, you know seeing you succeed makes them really happy. um, it's like that feeling of oneness, it's like that feeling of belongingness that they have with you. And what I truly feel like, if you're someone who starts to give advice to people, or, if you're going to go ahead and teach people, or for that matter, even speak from a place where you've learned all these lessons, if you speak from there, I have a strong feeling that you are going to gain that gain public recognition, because people are going to really connect to you on a level where they feel like they are with you, like a feeling of oneness for that matter. And I think that is the vibe that you give off to these people out there. And I think without your knowledge, you are basically inspiring a lot of people. Um, I think you have no clue of that, and I think that's what comes to me from all these cards. Like you are unaware of, I mean, like, because I think you've been going through this and struggling through this alone, okay? You haven't realized that people out there are looking up to you. And yeah, so that is what I get. And with the Nine of Pentacles and the Two of Cups, okay, what I feel here is, um, you are someone who's a great friend, okay, like a really good friend, someone like people feel so comforted by you. People like, you know, when I know this for this particular pile, um, the moment you give something to someone, it's going to return back to you. I mean, like, anything for that matter, let it be an emotional support, or for that matter, the two of a cups talks about balance. It talks about if deep connections. It talks about deep emotions. So if at all you give out something like that, a helping hand to someone, you are going to get that back in double folds. Basically, you're going to get that back returned multiplied. Okay, so what I feel like, if you people start giving advice, start, some form of way that you can contribute to society, you are going to really flourish. I'm telling you this, you're going to definitely flourish. Okay, and with the Nine of Pentacles, what I feel is people look up to you. I mean, like, you are someone who just knows how to enjoy themselves, enjoy your own company, enjoy the way that you're living. You're someone who's very self sufficient, let it be emotionally for that matter, let it be your finances, let it be anything for that matter. I think you are a person who finds joy in even the tiniest and smallest thing. I think that's probably because you've been through a lot, and that itself, I have a feeling like, the fact that you feel gratitude towards everything tiny, or everything which is even small. You feel gratitude towards that, and because you feel that, you draw more of it into your life. What I feel like, your life itself is very inspiring to people out there. And I have a very strong feeling like you aren't aware of it. You help people out, but you aren't aware that that helping hand that you're giving out to someone is changing their lives in a great way. Okay? So how this particular person sees you is, they see you as someone who's very inspiring, someone that they look up to, someone that, you know, they want to basically embody you, try to be someone like you. They see you as someone who's very successful. Let it be with their relationships, let it be with their finances for that matter, and let it be in general the way they overcome a particular situation. They see you come across as a very strong person. Okay, so thank you for helping me. For me, helping me read this particular pile, because it's quite inspiring for me as well. So thank you for that matter, whoever chose pile 2. I hope this resonates. Thank you. And I'm sorry, you have three more cards here. Um, you have your thinker, time for a nap, and the tribe. Like I told you, what I feel like many people are going to feel connected to you, okay? And you are basically creating this circle of people, like you've realized the worth of the right people, but you also, I think, you would have so many people supporting you in whatever you do, okay? You are going to have that. And the eight talks about abundance. It talks about materialism. It talks about money. It talks about just being abundant in life. Okay, and with the thinker, what I feel like you are someone who you do not let your heart overrule your logical side. So what I feel like, you are someone who knows, I mean, like sometimes it's very important that you analyze a particular situation, analyze an emotion as well. So you are not someone, just because I love you, I'm going to put up with something that is not right. So you are definitely someone like, you like you're going to judge that, okay, I love this particular person, but then if he or she is not worthy of that love, you are a person who is willing to walk away. So you are someone like that, and I respect you for it, because not many people out there have the courage to do that, because love always ends up overruling your logical side. But then to see you, it's very, I think the fact that you can give a different message to people, like there's nothing wrong in looking after yourself, looking after your own needs, because many people out there, what happens is when they end up falling in love, um, it's like they are, you know, they put up with a lot, even in spite of knowing that that particular person can be toxic to them, that particular person may not be the right one. And they suffer in that relationship, just telling themselves, yeah, I love this particular person, I love this particular person, and they put up with so much. They don't realize that that way they are not respecting themselves, and they are losing everything they were at one point of time. And for you to be a kind of person who can give a message to people out there, like it's okay to fall in love with someone completely wrong, but then it's very important. I mean, like it happened, but then what I feel like, living with the hope that you're going to find the right kind of people and you're going to fall in love again, that itself is very wonderful. So, and with the time for a nap, you are someone who, I feel like you've been through a lot. So, what I would want to tell you is just go a little easy on yourself. Take, like, sleep this off, like try to recover your energy, try to recover whatever you've lost, for that matter, especially physically, like regarding your health and regarding your emotional balance, for that matter. And know that you are someone who's very inspiring. So I hope this resonates with you. Thank you. Let's move to pile number three. The ones who have chosen pile number three, how do they see you? You have Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Knight of Swords, and then King of Swords. And you have time to go, and you have deep knowing. Okay, so how do they see you? This particular person, they see you as someone who is very stable. Okay, uh, basically, they also see you as someone who has great potential. Like, really, I'm like, you're the kind of person who can probably, like, once they make up their mind, they can do anything for that matter. Like, they can accomplish anything if they set their mind to it. And they see you as someone who's very ambitious as well. So I'm with the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Swords. With the Queen of Wands, you are someone who's physically very attractive, okay? Uh, You are, you catch people's eye. I'm like, the moment you walk into a room, the first thing, it's like, you have eyes on you without your knowledge. Maybe just the way you walk into the room with all that sass and all that, like, okay, I know who I am sort of vibe. And you're someone who's very funny, charming, but very caring as well. So and you're someone, how do they really see you is someone who's entrepreneurial, okay? Someone who can be a businesswoman, a businessman for that particular matter. And with the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords, what I feel like you're someone who's intellectual. I'm like very intellectual for that matter. Someone who is very intelligent. They can hold a conversation. Um, they can probably, I mean, like when you're talking about it, when you're talking actually for that matter, or you're having a discussion, and you can talk about sports, you can talk about, I mean, like something which is very logical for that matter, and you are someone with a lot of grand ideas, and you're not afraid to be yourself, okay? You are someone who is not even scared of cutting people out of your life. And with the Knight of Swords, what I really feel is with the Knight of Swords, um, um, okay, you are also someone who's a great communicator, and okay, what do I see with the Knight of Swords? I think sometimes you end up speaking in a way that is like, okay, did she really think and speak, or did he or she really think and speak? I think you're someone who's very frank, very, you can at times come across as someone being blunt, okay? So yeah, I have that feeling like, probably you come across as like that. It can be. Um, and otherwise, what I feel like, you are also not afraid to go after what you truly desire. And you're not some, I think you are a person who is not out there trying to wanting to impress people. But then, just by doing your own thing, I feel like that itself draws a lot of people in for you. The Queen of Wands is someone who has a lot of, like, people like crave for their attention. It is like that, the Queen of Wands. Okay, and what I feel like with the time to go and deep knowing, time to go talks about, I think you are someone, like I told you, are not afraid to cut people off, and you are also, they also see for a fact that you are someone who is willing to walk away from a connection, from something that does not bring you any form of happiness, or, it's like you have that courage to go after the things that you want for that matter with the Knight of Swords. Like, this is like, I'm like, this is like having that courage to just jump off and go after something that without a thought, like, yeah, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to get this. So that is there, and like you see this particular person going towards a particular door. So I think like that is what they feel. And with a deep knowing, you have this deep sense of knowledge. I think that your intuition is very strong. And I also have a feeling like you deep down, you know what you truly want. Because you know what you truly want, you come across as this person who has your life figured out. You know what you want. Are you are someone, I mean, like, you are, I think, to an extent, because you know how to cut people off. I think you surround yourself only with the right kind of people, and I already have a feeling that you have the right people around you. So that is what I'm getting for your reading. I hope this resonates. Thank you. Okay, the ones who have chosen pile number 4, you have the Knight of Wands, Wheel of Fortune. Sorry. Okay, here are three more cards. Okay, the first card was Justice, Ten of Wands, Six of Swords, Knight of Wands, and then the Wheel of Fortune. And then you have By the Book, and then a message in a bottle. So, with the Justice card, you are someone who's very fair, very logical. You are, a very balanced person for that matter. Whenever people give you something, you always return it back. I mean, like, let it be a favor, let it be a kindness that people have shown towards you. You're always someone who gives it back, but you also know how to get even with people. Like, people know not to mess around with you. And with the Ten of Wands, I feel like you're very hardworking. And oftentimes, what happens is you end up taking the burdens. I mean, like, you end up taking more than you can chew. So you're always working, and you're like from one particular job. I'm like, it's like from one project to the next project to the next. So with the Ten of Wands, I feel that. And what I feel with the Six of Sword is you are someone they see as a person who is always improving, who's always working towards improving themselves, improving their life, improvement for that particular matter. Like, you are someone, you learn, and you actually love learning. So because you're learning, you are basically, on a whole new level compared to other people. You have more knowledge than the average people around you with the Six of Swords. It might be relating to just one particular field, but then I don't feel that with the Ten of Wands. I feel like because you have like 10 wands there, I feel like you have a lot of knowledge about a lot of areas in life. And with the Knight of Wands, what I feel here is you're someone who's very passionate. I'm like, you have these, like, something catches your eye, something like fancies you, you go after it, you learn it, and that's it. I'm like, you're someone who's very curious, and because you're someone who's very curious, what really happens is you satisfy that hunger for knowledge. You satisfy that you want to constantly improve, and because of the Knight of Wands, I feel like you are like, you start projects but then you don't really end it. So it's like you might have knowledge about them but then not in depth. Okay, it seems scattered, but then comparatively to other people, you're quite knowledgeable. And with the Wheel of Fortune, this talks about, like, people see you as someone who is um, what I feel like they do not know what to expect. At times, you are someone who is what I feel like. Um, I feel like you're someone who's moody. Okay, yeah. I mean, like you're someone who's quite moody. Yeah, definitely. Uh, with the 10 of that, this is Wheel of Fortune, and the 10 also talks about endings and new beginnings. So I feel like you always are having these new beginnings. Like you have 10 here, you have 10 there. So what I feel like, because you love adventure, you love to. I also have a feeling like you love to travel. Uh, you want to see the world as well, I guess. And with the 10, I have a feeling like. That is what you want to do at the end of the day. That is like you start something, but then you don't really end up finishing that. But you're always having new beginnings in your life. You're always like starting something new. And every time people see you, you're always working at something. You're always working at something. You're really enthusiastic about something. They see you as someone who's very passionate and very enthusiastic about things in life. So the way that you come across to this particular person is your life itself seems very interesting to other people out there. Your life is something like, you always have something going on for you. Like life is not stagnant for you. Things are like always there. Like there's something always exciting going on in your life. And I think um, many people envy that side of your life. Maybe because you just get fascinated and something spikes your interest, you go after it, you learn about it, and you satisfy your curiosity. And what I feel like by the book and A Message in a Bottle, I also have a strong feeling like you do not judge people, you just let them be who they are around you. You just allow them to be who they are. And because you like them the way they are, and by the book also, I feel with the book, like you have a lot of knowledge, I feel. And with Message in a Bottle, A Message in a Bottle is, it talks about like some happy news. Like, whenever the people come across you, they always feel very happy, or you always have something interesting to tell them. You always have something right to tell them, something really which touches their heart for that matter. And I think you're very interesting as a person because you have this vast knowledge about things. I feel like you are someone who's very, you always have the right message to deliver. And I also have a feeling probably you're a messenger in this world. Okay, so that is what I'm getting for you all. I hope this resonates. And then the last pile that we have here is you have the devil, the six of pentacles, queen of pentacles, the two of wands, the lover's card. And then you have three more cards for you. You have building blocks, no place like home, and you have milk and honey. Okay, how do they see you? Okay, so with the devil card, okay, okay, let me just be unlike my usual self. It's like, my. You just come across as a person who is, I'm like, this bad boy, bad girl attitude, That is how you come across to people. You come across to them as someone like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be wanting them, but then I want them. You have this devil may care attitude. You have this, I'm like, oh my god, I don't give a shit about what's happening. This very laid back way that you approach your life, the way I think the moment people see you, they feel really drawn to you, okay? The power that you have over people, they feel so strongly drawn to you. You, I, I don't really have a feeling like you know that for that matter. So, this is the first impression that you give to people. But I think what really happens is that's not who you are, okay? You are not the person who is bad, okay? You are someone who is really kind hearted with a six of pentacles, okay? You are someone who's very kind. You're someone who's very generous. You're someone who is very helpful. And because, you give off this first impression that you're like this, what happens is, a complete opposite. People have assumed something about you, and you are someone completely different than what they really thought. They are like, I think that is the changing point. I mean, like, that is like the point when that people end up falling in love with you. Okay, with a lover's card, I definitely have a strong feeling like people strongly feel connected to you. They i they you just, people fall in love with you so easily, and that's probably because you make them feel so much at home. You make them feel like you are their soul family. You make them feel so drawn to you in a way. I mean, like, you're just, see, you have that devil energy. I mean, like, you have that very attractive, okay? The devil card talks about someone who's very attractive, someone who's very powerful. And if that is what they feel about you, then you are someone who has very strong power over this particular person. They are connected to you in a way, they feel connected to you in a way like they feel like you are the one for them. Okay, and with the Lover's card, I have a strong feeling like people fall in love with you very easily. And the Queen of Pentacles is a really wonderful card. I mean, like, I don't give a shit about who you think I am. I am just me. And that you being you is like the biggest factor that pulls them in, that draws them into you, that draws them to just, I mean, like, people just keep, falling, they keep falling in love. It's like really going on a level where, it's like very strong love. Okay, you have like really strong cards here. You have the devil card, you have the lover's card. Those are like some really strong emotions out there, okay, that you bring out in people. And with the two of wands, what I feel here is, I think you're actually someone who's least bothered about, you know, l- I mean, like, love for that matter. You're someone actually out there trying to build a comfortable life for yourself. You're someone out there, you are a person who is just trying to do better for themselves when it comes to financially. You want to be in a position where you can be, I want to be, it is like, I want to be in a position where I can help people out. And you're someone who's very futuristic, so you're always thinking way ahead in life. You always, like, trying, you're always seeking mountains to climb. And love is not that much of a priority. And because that is not, you want someone in your life, that's definitely there, but then because that is not your priority, I think people are like drawn to you, like, I cannot even explain because you have like some really powerful cards here. And then you have the building blocks. Okay, the building blocks, no place like home and milk and honey. What I feel like, people outright see that, and this particular person also outright sees that you're gonna have, you are going to be building a very strong foundation for your relationships and also for your career for that matter. Things are just, picking up for you. Like you have this strong bond with people around you. You have, I mean, like, people just feel so attached. So, with the building blocks, this talks about, you know, like deep connections for that matter. And no place like home is definitely something, you know, like people feel at home with you. I told you, you have some really powerful cards. So, no place like home because they feel in love with you. They, and with the Queen of Pentacles, what I feel here is even the ant feels at home with you. Okay, this okay. With no place like home, what I feel here is, and with the Queen of Pentacles, okay, this is like, you know, like if people think like you're their soul family, they people are just drawn to you. Okay, I'm like they're simply drawn to you. And with the milk and honey, it's like you are someone, they see that you're going to have everything that you've truly desired in your life because you're a person who's willing to work hard towards what you truly want. You're not someone who just gives I mean, like, you're not just someone who's going to accept anyone for that matter. Um, with the milk and honey, you already know what you want in life. And I think deep down, even you give off that vibe that at the end of the day, you are going to be someone who's going to be successful. They're going to have, this is like the perfect guy for that, perfect guy or perfect girl for that matter. They're going to be wealthy, they're going to be with the love of their life. They're going to make sure that they be with the love of their life. They're going to have a happy family. They are someone, you know, who is going to make sure that, I mean, like, basically a very loved family, but then being successful as well. So that is how they see you actually. So that is quite an interesting, this is quite an interesting pile. I hope this resonates. Thank you.